Have you ever really stopped to look at the plate you eat off of every day? It seems so simple, right? But it actually holds the secret history. It's a story about a huge, fascinating divide between the East and the West that shaped, well, pretty much everything from art to technology. Okay, let's get into it.
For centuries, the difference was just staggering. I mean, in East Asia, you had this stunning porcelain and glossy lacquerware that wasn't just for kings and queens, it was part of daily life for a lot of people. But then you look at pre modern Europe, and the average table had, what, a simple wooden bowl? Maybe a rough, chunky piece of earthenware? So on one side of the world, you've got art. On the other, you have a basic tool for survival.
So, what on earth caused this incredible gap? It's not like it was just a matter of taste. The answer is this amazing historical mystery with three really crucial clues, and they involve geology, secret knowledge, and totally clashing philosophies. Let's solve it.
Our investigation starts with the most fundamental thing of all, the Earth itself. The raw materials that were just naturally available in each region, well, they set them on completely different paths right from the get-go.
Okay, so what's really wild here is how much the climate shaped everything. East Asia's warm, humid environment was the absolute perfect recipe for creating these rich deposits of kaolin. That's the magic ingredient for porcelain. This clay was super plastic, meaning you could shape it into these incredibly delicate forms. And that same climate, it let the urushi tree flourish, which gives you the sap for that beautiful, durable lacquer. Now, Europe, drier, cooler, very little kaolin to be found. Instead, it had tons of forests and metal ores, which is exactly why they became masters of woodworking and metal for their tables.
So, okay, they had different materials, but that's only part of the story. Our second clue is all about how they developed and passed on the skills to work with those materials. And that, well, that reveals another huge difference. In places like China and Japan, making ceramics and lacquerware was a big deal, often a state-supported mission. You had imperial workshops that were systematically researching and documenting every technique, always pushing to make things better, stronger, more beautiful. And this knowledge wasn't locked away in a vault. It was passed down, built upon for generations, and that created this incredible society-wide legacy of innovation.
Europe had a totally different way of doing things, the guild system. Here, knowledge was power, and it was treated like a top-secret recipe. This secretive, fragmented approach meant that new ideas spread incredibly slowly, if at all. They often just stayed within one small group of craftsmen. It was the complete opposite of the open, build-on-it-together approach we saw in the East. And here's the bottom line. One path led to really fast, widespread tech advancement in ceramics, making beautiful things accessible to more people. The other path, it led to slower, more isolated progress, which kept high-quality items as these super rare luxury goods for just a tiny elite. So, we've got the materials and we've got the methods, but our last clue is maybe the most important one of all. It's about culture. It answers the question, what was a dinner plate even for? Because you see, a plate is never just a plate. And this quote it nails it. It perfectly captures the core philosophical divide. For one culture, the thing you ate off of was basically a billboard for your social rank. For the other, it was a crucial part of the artistic experience of the meal itself.
In Europe, the dining table was literally a stage for showing off your power. A silver or pewter plate screamed, "I'm important." The meal was a ritual that reinforced who was on top and who was on the bottom. And for almost everybody else, a dish just had to hold food. Aesthetics? That was a luxury for the rich.
But in East Asia, the whole approach was more holistic. The bowl was chosen specifically to create a sense of harmony with the food it was holding, reflecting the season, maybe a feeling. Philosophies like the Japanese tea ceremony really drove home this idea that the vessel was just as important as the tea inside it. The goal was to create a complete aesthetic experience for you, the individual. So, there we have it. We have all the clues. Now, let's put them all together and finally solve the mystery of why these two worlds of tableware were so incredibly different for so long. So, it boils down to three keys, right? First, it was the earth itself, having the right clay and the right climate. Second, it was the method of innovation. Was it open and systematic, or was it closed and secretive? And third, it was all about the meaning. Was a dish a tool for a sensory experience, or was it a symbol of social status? So in the end, the story of your dinner plate isn't about one single thing. It's this beautiful, complex tapestry woven together from the threads of nature, human ingenuity, and these really deep-seated cultural beliefs about what it even means to sit down and share a meal.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? The next time you sit down to eat, take a second and just look at the plate in front of you. It's not just a thing, it's the end result of this long, hidden history. So, what story are the objects on your table telling?